What's going on? What's going on, people? I had to make sure I wasn't looking extra tired. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're coming from. Once again, we are here. Welcome back to the Savers Club, saving by the numbers. Week three, before I get into all that other stuff. Week one was just really an introduction, just trying to, introduce, a habit, trying to get people into the whole idea of saving money. Um, Week two is just understanding why it's important. What's going on, Wilder? Good morning. Nice to catch you live. Appreciate you catching me live. Beauty on a budget. This is good for you as well. Um, like I said, week one was just the introduction. Week two, was just trying to explain why this is important. Week three is just really about consistency, just being consistent with the habit. Eastat, appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for dropping by. This should not be a long live stream. I try to do this within the 10 o'clock hour. I will be live every Friday within the 10 o'clock hour, just so I could get people into the habit of saving, you know. Again, I reiterate for people, you save just a little bit of money. It's not hard. You do it because what happens is you're trying to, save for a purpose. That's what I would say for a purpose. It's not just saving for the sake of saving. Most people save money and just put it to the side and figure, hey, it's not allotted for anything. I don't have to allocate or, earmark this money for something. And the money should be earmarked for something. Let's say I wanted a new pair of shoes. Let's say I wanted to go on vacation. I think I need more light. Let there be more light. Yeah. Okay. So I guess no, that's too much light. That's too much light. Anyway, saving the money is important because you may have things that you want to do. You may have something extra that you want on the side. You may want a pair of sneakers or shoes. You may want to go on vacation. You may have something that may be important to you. And it's always good to have extra money off to the side. Then there's the serious stuff. There may be an emergency. There may be some medical bills. There may be, you want to send a kid through college or something like that. So why stress and strain yourself, over money that may be allotted to earmark for bills and things like that, when you can actually take the time out to, you know, put something to the side. So that's what this is about. It's about understanding how to take your money and be purposeful with saving it and doing something with it. So without further ado, I'll tell people who haven't been, along this challenge. It's been the third week, and for the month of January, I've been doing $12 a week. So I put $24 in here so far, and I'm gonna put another $12 in there, which would bring me up to 36. What's going on, Chris Cook? Thank you, appreciate that. I'm not gonna be live too long, but thank you for stopping by, Mr. Cook. Um, or Mrs. I don't, Mr. I see Chris Cook, so that's what it is. I don't want to get it wrong. But anyway, this is just to get people into the habit. Forgive me if I'm not seeming that convincing, but I think one of the biggest things to do to convince you is to actually save the money and show you what's going to happen towards the end. So I'm going to the end of the year with this money. I'm not saving up a whole lot of money. Yeah, no, it is growing and it's about to grow more. I'm about to make another contribution right now to it. But I just wanted to take the time out to talk to you and just to encourage you to save your money as well, to put money to the side, to actually, begin to grow. And if you have something that you want to put the money towards, one of the biggest things I've been telling people is that at least the average American and even people around the world don't have $1,000 in their bank account or don't have anything in their bank account. So if something happens for a rainy day or if there's, unforeseen circumstance or something like that, you don't have that extra money off to the side. Everybody's trying to borrow and scrape and, like they said, rob Peter to pay Paul and all this other stuff. So you don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul, you don't even have to rob yourself. You don't have to borrow, but you begin to get the habit of saying, hey, look, I got a little something extra just in case of an emergency, just in case I want to buy something. Maybe you want a new phone, maybe you want to take a trip. Maybe you just want to go out to a fancy dinner, whatever the case may be. But you begin to say, okay, look, I put this money to the side. And it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of money. Like I said, I'm only putting $12 aside and it's starting to grow. It's starting to grow a little bit. Like I said, this is $24. It may seem like nothing. Drunken one, appreciate you. I got you on Harry's stream. You're here now. Thank you for the people that are coming through. But like I said, um, for the month of January, I'm only doing $12 a week. Oh, and this is a side note. Next week I'm gonna put $24 in here because the last week of January I won't be able to do it because I started on a Friday, and the last week of January, the last day is a Thursday, so I don't want to mess up the schedule. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually next week I'm gonna put $24 in here instead of 12. So that'll put me up to my 5 weeks for the month of January. And I encourage anybody, you can put the totals, of money in here, for the month of January, so, you just, add up 12, 12 times five, and you got your total there. Carol Turner, appreciate you for coming through. Thank you, Mr. Cook. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate that. Is it Chris Cook? Sorry about that. Thank you, Cook. I appreciate you for coming through. Forgive me, folks, if I seem like I'm rambling on and I'm just going off, on a tangent. Without further ado, let me do the ceremonious thing. Um, what's going on, Shanae? The ceremonious thing is you should take $10. I have 10, two ones. And I'm going to throw that in here for week 3. This is week 3. Let me shine a light. Shine a light. Ooh, no, it's too much of a light. Anyway, I'm taking $12 and I'm putting it in there, so now that brings me up to 36. $36 for 3 weeks, and I put it in there like so, and I just hide it in my secret stash, you know, and that's that. The reason I'm doing all that is because I'm trying to get people into the practice of actually saving money, but it's saving money for a purpose. Like I said, I just put that in there, and it's $36 in here now after 3 weeks. I'm trying to only get to like 300 and something dollars. I forget how much it is. I'm still tired. And the reason I'm doing all of this is because, like I said, I want people to understand how easy it is to save money. And towards the end of the year, I'll decide what I'm going to do with the particular money. Is I'm not just saving money for the sake of saving money. I'm not coming on here every Friday, just saying, "Oh wow, look at me, I got money that I want to save." No, I'm trying to encourage people to say, "Hey, look, you may have something that you want. You may have something a little bit extra you want to do and put to the side." And it's something to begin to build up, begin to build up a little nest egg or begin to build up something in case of emergency. A lot of times I may have something just in case of an emergency, not a whole bunch, but enough to say, hey, look, if I had to go to the doctor, if I had to make an emergency trip, if I had to, pay for a funeral or something like that, which I don't, we don't want to be in those circumstances, but you never know. Or if I lose my job, you lose your job, you're unemployed for some reason. You want to be in a position where you begin to use your money wisely, because a lot of times if you add up and look at the money that we spend on frivolous stuff, on the fast food, on entertainment purposes, what if you took $12 that you may spend on entertainment and you actually begin to say, you know what, let me put the money in here. If you just took $12, and then just for the month of January, 5 weeks, it adds up quick. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna go down. Like February is $11 each week. Okay, so on February 1st, I'm gonna begin to do that. Beauty on a budget. I'm saving so hard for a trip I really want to take. Yeah, no, it's easy. It's easy, Bella. It's easy, Bella. It's easy to save for a trip. What I encourage people to do, how you do it. Why the magic number is 12. Just 12 months. 12 months. So you're starting backwards. Drunken one. So instead of saving $1, the first month is 12 months. So basically, the whole idea of it is by the time you get to December, you're only saving $1 a week. So if you can't save $1 a week in December, then something's wrong with you, or something how you manage your money. Because what happens is I understand people are going to be doing the Christmas thing. The reason I'm doing this is because some people need to begin the practice of saving money. I've saved money. I do save money. So my thing is, once this is full up or once this is at a certain amount, what do? We go to the next step, but I want to go through it step by step with you. Yeah, there you go, drunken one. The reason I'm taking the time to go through it step by step is because I don't want to just get a pile of money and say, okay, do this. I want to show you that, hey, just like you, I have to remember to save the money, to put it to the side, to earmark it for something. Like I said, this is specifically for something. This is not play money. You know, I've been doing something similar, but instead of the number of the month, I go by the number of weeks in each year. Yeah, you could do that too. You could do that too. You could definitely while you could go by the number of weeks in each year. But the whole point is to save money and save it for a purpose, and basically put yourself in a situation where, if you needed it for something, for a case of an emergency, or if you needed just to get into the practice of having, that money for a vacation or something else extra that you wanted, you could do it. Because there's a lot of people you'll be surprised, that don't have any money in their bank account. They don't have anything earmarked to put to the side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be a bunch drunken one. It always came in handy usually for emergencies. Exactly, exactly, Wilder. There's nothing wrong with having something just in case of emergencies. Now you got to be careful because once you start telling people you're saving money or you have money to the side, people will create an emergency for you and tell you, oh, well, look, I need money for this and I need money for that. When I put money to the side for certain things, I don't have money so I could just give away and throw away to people. Like I said, this is not a whole bunch of money, so ain't a whole bunch of people gonna come. I encourage people though, as you begin to grow your nest egg or grow your money, I would say very little about it. The reason I have to say this and do this is because I want to try to get you into the practice of it, but I would never tell people how much money I actually saved up or how much do I have as a grand total or whatever, unless I had like an account for like for entertainment purposes, or account for educational purposes. You're telling people, okay, this is what you're doing. So it is a situation where this is done for a specific purpose. I got my only grandson uniforms with savings. It was nice to do that. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, Bella. There's nothing wrong with being able to do something because you put money to the side or for savings. But what I'm trying to get people into is to have the just in case money, to have the rainy day, the emergency fund money, just in case. You never know. Like I said, you never know, and you may want to go on a vacation. This is something that's definitely fruitful to do. Definitely a practice that people don't take the time out to do, and it's important because, like I said, you never know. And I'll say this: it's nothing worse than having an emergent situation pop up, and you don't have the money, and you're struggling, and you're straining, and then you got to go out and borrow money, or you got to go use your credit card, or you got to go to a family friend, and then you got to go try to pay it back and stuff like that. So it's nothing worse than trying to have to do that, and put yourself in a situation like that. So this is the attempt to have people not put themselves in a situation where you have to go out to a family friend, where you have to go out and borrow money on a credit card. Not to say that you can't do that, not to say there's not times where you shouldn't do that, but this is just to get people in the habit. And I encourage you out there just to take, $12, during the month of January and put it in here. I'm already at the third week, so if you haven't been doing this, I encourage people to take $36, find you an empty can or a bucket or whatever, something clear that you can see, put it in there and save it for the month of January. There's 2 more weeks left, so there's another 24. No, no, 2 more weeks. Yeah, yeah, you can say 2 more weeks. You just throw another $24 in there, or another $36 in there. It's up to you. Exactly. I learned the hard way that all of a sudden it needed a medicine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Wilder. Were you saying your oldest needed medicine and whatnot? Your oldest grandson. Let me see. Let me see that comment again. Sorry about that. Anyway, you never know. That's the whole point of this. Not to get long winded on anybody. You never know when you're gonna need this money. You never know when this stuff is gonna come in handy. And like I said, I mean, it sounds like I may be beating a dead horse. This may be one of the most boring live streams you see today. I don't know, but the point of it is that this is an important thing to do. Yo, 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 SNS Darkness. Appreciate you for coming through. I just want to get folks into the habit of putting some money to the side because there's a specific thing I'm gonna do with this towards the end of the year. There's a choice that needs to be made. One is like, what happens when you do have a couple of $100? Do you keep it going? Do you stop? Do you spend it? And then that's something that we'll deal with when it's time to cross that bridge. Thank you, SNS Darkness. I appreciate you for coming through, dropping that like. And I encourage people to reshare this. I encourage people just to rewatch this and understand what I'm talking about. Watch the other 2 weeks. And what I was talking about with that, I do have in the coming weeks some other articles and stuff that I want to read, and just some knowledge I want to share with you pertaining to just retirement savings and stuff like that. I'm seeing a lot of people that are going live right now or dropping videos, but that's another still side note. Anyway, I don't want to stay on here too long. This has been week 3 of the Savers Club, saving by the numbers. Uh, $36. We got up to $36 now on week 3. $12 a week. So I encourage anybody, if you want to get in on this, hopefully you can see. You can just throw $36 into like a clear can somewhere, and this is for you. It's not for me. For you to have money, so you can actually begin to do what I'm going to talk about. Towards the end of the year, when you have a couple of $100, extra. This is not money to just waste or whatever the case. You can do what you want with it, but this money is not to waste. And with that being said, I got to get up out of here because I got to start getting ready for work and stuff like that. And I thank everybody for coming through and taking the time out to listen. I appreciate you. See you next week. Where I'll be throwing $24 in there because I won't be going to the last week. Because of Friday and all. I explained all that. And next week it'll be the last of January for me. The last of saving for January, and then we'll be getting ready for February. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was insightful.